Hello, beautiful soul. In this video, I want to talk about the fact that everyone who comes into our life is either a lesson or a blessing. And I think it's really important to be able to cultivate enough discernment to work out or determine which applies to which person. Earlier the better, in my view. And I think the more lessons we have with people and the more experiences we have and the more we use those as opportunities to grow, the more likely it is that we're going to be able to see what the lessons are. But I just wanted to kind of step through these realizations that I've had around everyone who comes into our life, around why people come into our life. Why am I still experiencing people who are reflecting back things that I've outgrown? And the first thing I wanted to mention is every person mirrors something back to us. So that can be various things. They can be mirroring back to us our growth that we've done and the level that we're at now. They could be mirroring back to us old wounds and things that we haven't healed yet. They can be mirroring things to us that we have learnt the lesson in and we're definitely ready to release, and we can see the pattern and we're choosing to no longer participate in that. So everyone mirrors something back to us, and when we see things from that point of view, we take our own emotion out of it. We treat it as something to observe, not taking things personally anymore. We're using it as a point of reflection to consider what we might need to learn from this. The next thing I wanted to mention is that lessons come into our lives to redirect us, to help us. So it's not about punishment. It's not about things that we don't deserve and we're experiencing. It's about looking at what the opportunity is to evolve. And for me, these lessons have come in really harsh ways. They've come in disappointing ways. I've been hurt, betrayed, challenged, all of those things. And those things have taught me how to spot behaviors moving forward. They've taught me the boundaries that I need, the patterns that I'm ready to release, that I'm not wanting to keep repeating. They're standards that I need to raise, I need to implement. So reframing lessons in that way has really helped me to come to terms with the fact that sometimes things are really unfair. Sometimes people come into our lives that treat us in a way that we're not deserving of. And we can choose how we look at that. We can choose to wallow and be sad and upset and be a perpetual victim in the way that we've been treated and the way that we were disrespected and the way that we were betrayed and the way that we were harmed. Or we can reframe that as acknowledging the pain, acknowledging the betrayal, acknowledging how unfair that situation was, and choosing to look at it as an opportunity to evolve, choosing to heal, to forgive, not for the person, but for ourselves, and certainly, not to let people into our lives who do continually harm us and don't know how to treat us properly. And conversely, when blessings come into our lives, it's an opportunity to be reminded of the growth that we've done, of the level that we're now at. It's a reminder that people who come into our lives who are easy to get along with, who are supportive, who are expansive, who are grounding, that's reminders that these sort of situations exist, that we are deserving of healthy, peaceful, harmonious, fun, grounding, happy relationships where we are seen, validated, respected. We can live in a way that's more fun and light and enjoyable at the end of the day. The next thing I wanted to mention is that recognizing which is really important. So when we mislabel a lesson as a blessing, we tend to hang on to that situation for far longer than we should be or we need to be. We don't release things quickly. We hold on, we try and make it work. We are basically in denial about the situation. And when we mislabel a blessing as a lesson, we're missing opportunities. We're missing the opportunity for something beautiful and we push away things that are good. And so having clarity helps us actually respond instead of reacting to things. The final thing I wanted to mention is to acknowledge that both of these, both the lessons in our lives and the blessings in our lives, give us something. They move us forward. There is a benefit to both of these things. So the people who we meet who are lessons help refine us. They help refine our character. They help refine our discernment. They help us see red flags. They help us see who is for us and who isn't for us, and who is in alignment and who isn't. And it's really obvious if we're using all of the opportunities that we get, all of the people we encounter who don't show up in ways that are healthy for us as a lesson, and we integrate that lesson and we try not to repeat that lesson, that's only going to benefit us in the future. And when we experience blessings in our lives, to me, they're like a wink from the universe. They're nourishing, it's beautiful, and they are part of that duality of life. If we don't experience things that we consider bad or negative, or things that are challenging, then it's, I think, harder to appreciate the good things and the good people and the beauty in life. And so I think they do come hand in hand. And I think together they shape who we are, our path, our sense of self, what we want for our lives. And I think the biggest key for me is being awake, being observant, understanding and noticing who is here to teach me and who is here to uplift me. And so I really hope that this has helped someone. I love you. Bye.